Thank you all so much for joining in this morning and coming together. It feels really, really sweet in this time of personal space to be in community, and this is one way that we can use technology that oftentimes separates us to actually come together. So this is really great, and it feels really sweet, and it warms my heart that you are all here. Welcome to my home studio. I'm so happy that you could be here. I think we'll just go ahead and get started. So I feel like we're here on the threshold of uncertainty, and we've got this wildly quiet moment where we're all together in wait beyond all of our answers, and that can bring up a lot of stuff. I mean, there's, on one hand, we can feel really relieved with the extra time that we are finding ourselves in. It can feel really nice to be able to slow down the pace of life. I know that some people are still working super hard and having to be out and about and be in the face of this mystery out and about in the world, and that can feel really scary, I think, for all of us. Though it can feel relieving at times, it can also feel really unnerving and a little unsettling. I know there are a lot of people that don't have a safe place to be, and that can feel really heartbreaking for those of us who do, and also, really scary for those who don't. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like these are some really uncharted waters that can bring up a whole variety of sensations and feelings, and might be from one moment to the next that we're all feeling completely different things. One moment I could be feeling like, oh, I'm so grateful for all this time that I have to spend here with my family, and then the next moment be stressed about how it's all going to turn out. So anyway, today what I thought that we would do in practice was develop, maybe even for some of us first discover and develop a relationship with what the yogis called Purusha, which literally means that which is at rest right here in the middle of things. So if we can develop a relationship with that which is at rest right here in the middle of whatever it is we're being asked to show up for, we're being asked to experience, we can anchor ourselves in that place of abiding, so that when we're then more free to open ourselves up to the mystery that we're being asked to step into and that we're being asked to engage with. And so that's what we're up to here this morning. So we'll just start. You don't need anything. We'll do maybe 10, 15 minutes of movement, a little moment of shavasana, and then we'll have probably a 10-minute meditation. So you don't really need any props. If you like to have something to sit up on for meditation or something, we'll be doing a lot of this practice on laying down on the floor today. So if you feel like you want some kind of mat down, or you want to do it on the carpet, or you want a pillow beneath your head or a blanket beneath your head, then that can be fine too. So we'll just lay down on our backs and take a moment to just nestle in. And you can bend your knees and take your feet wide and just let the knees drop together. And just allow yourself a moment to really settle into a state of surrender. So here we surrender the way that we wanted it to be. We surrender the way we thought it would be, the way we thought we would be. We surrender the way we think we should operate. Right now, just a moment to rest and surrender the weight of whatever burdens you're carrying. Simply let them be held by something greater than your heart alone, and your shoulders alone. As you rest back here of the earth, you recognize that this ground upon which you lay is the same ground upon which I lay, everyone else who is practicing here this morning, maybe even later on throughout the day. It's the same ground that holds us all. You can surrender the notion that you ever had to go it alone. Simply notice how you are held. Held by this earth, this breath. Please call the power of your mind down to rest with the breath. Simply lay one hand on your belly. And as you inhale, feel the belly rise beneath the palm of your hand. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften back towards the earth, away from the palm of your hand. As you inhale, feel the belly fill and expand and take life in. And as you exhale, feel how the belly softens back in. You may have to invite your mind 1,000,000 times back into the arms of the breath in and out of the center of you. That's okay, for this is how we all build our capacity for steadiness, how we build agency over our attention. Each time we invite it back, we're getting stronger with our capacity to turn inward and ground. And now as you continue to allow your mind to rest in the breath in the core, acknowledge that place at the bottom of the exhale where the breath evaporates completely into a breathless place. Notice how the inhale rises from that seeming emptiness. On the exhale, dissolves right back into breathlessness. Same way a wisp of a cloud evaporates into the atmosphere. And if you can remain at rest, simply allow that place of breathlessness, that pause beyond the exhale to expand just a little bit. And as the breath pauses at the bottom of each and every exhale, allow the fullness of your attention, of your awareness, to land and settle there in the space beyond even the coming and going of your breath, beyond even the momentum of the breath. Maybe, just maybe, you can anchor your attention here even as the breath comes and goes, in this place of abiding, in this place that is always at rest, beneath the flow of each and every breath, always at rest within the city of your experience. At rest, right here in the middle of things. Right here in the middle of the mystery or the uncertainty. A sense of abiding that holds it all. And tethering to that which is at rest, always just here. Continuing to allow the breath to thread from that spacious place and then in and out of the belly. Interlace your hands behind your head and allow your head to drop heavy into the palms of your hands. Rest. And from that spacious gap of breathless space, allow the inhale to rise and the exhale to drop. Then on this next one, as the inhale fills you, from an anchored space deep in the center, allow your lower back to arch just a little away from the floor as the pelvis rocks a little forward. And as the exhale empties and softens you, melt your lower back down into the floor. As you inhale, allow the breath to spring your lower back right up away from the floor. And as you exhale, allow your lower back to melt down into the floor. At the bottom of the exhale, a little pause. Anchored in the pause, as you inhale, allow the lower back to arch. And as you exhale, allow the lower back to melt and pause. So just like that, keep going. Allowing the body to rock on the rhythm of the breath while remaining anchored to that which is always at rest, just here. Allow your experience of movement and of breath to begin to grow even as you remain anchored. So as you inhale, you can even arch a little higher up the spine. And as you exhale, you can round a little higher up the spine. Pause. As you inhale, a little higher up the spine, and the elbows back and the head back, maybe even arching even into the neck. And then as you exhale and round, maybe you even curl your head and shoulders off the floor, drawing your elbows towards each other, surround you in the neck and pause in the center. So as you inhale, arch all the way through. And as you exhale, round, pause, and anchor. So even as you're moving and you're breathing and you're arching and rounding, can you remain aware of that which is always at rest, right here in the middle of things? And from this anchored, tethered space, feel free to engage in the movement in a more curious way. So maybe it feels really interesting as you exhale, kind of arc off to the side. And then as you inhale, to arc back. And then as you exhale, to curl off to the other side and pause. And as you inhale, to arc back. Or maybe as you exhale, you want to curl and across the midline. Maybe you even want to draw elbow towards the knee. And then as you inhale, arch back. And as you exhale, maybe cross the midline the other way. So feel free from an anchored, tethered space, from that which is at rest, to begin to explore any kind of movements here that ride on the breath. So see what it's like to explore in this way, anchored in a space of ease, beyond a place where we have to prove or be in any one specific way. Anchored in this place of ease, we are free to explore in a way that feels really wise and integrated for us just here, just now. Maybe the feet stay planted, or maybe you lift the feet. Maybe the hips stay planted. Or maybe as you inhale, you lift the hips. Anyway. 3 more cycles of breath. The bottom of every exhale, a little pause to be breathless and to remember rest. The end of that third breath, please just lay back out onto your back. Relax your legs out long. And take a moment of full surrender once again. Allowing yourself to simply be, nothing to do, just be. Just here. That's all. And that's enough. Now please bend your knees once again. Swing your arms out to the sides with the palms facing up. Have your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Call the power of your mind down into be with the breath rising and falling from the center of you, weaving in and out of existence from that breathless place, from that resting place. Allow a deep breath in. As you softly let that go, drop the knees to the right and drop your gaze to your left. Maybe, and pause. If that doesn't work for the neck, you can continue to gaze up. Allow the breath to come and go as you just land and settle right here in the middle of things. Now as you exhale, anchor to that steady abiding within. And as you inhale, swing your left hand up towards the top of the mat. Just up overhead, keep it on the floor. So you stretch long through the left side waist. And as you exhale, there, simply land and settle and pause. Now as you inhale, reach your left hand long away from the left knee. And as you exhale, continue on that arc overhead until the left hand comes around to meet the right hand. And then just swing and gather your left knee on top of your right knee and just curl into a little ball. And pause. Allow the breath to come and go as you anchor in that breathless place. Is the calm that you seek ever really not there? Now on your next inhale, swing the left leg back where it just was and swing the left hand up overhead onto the floor behind you. Pause. Exhale. Allow a deep inhale here, and as you exhale, continue to arc that left hand over into the twist. So now you're just back in that windshield wiper twist, and pause. Allow the breath to come and go as you remain at rest right here in the middle of it. On your inhale, swing the left knee towards the ceiling. Let it pull the right leg with it. And then as you exhale, drop the knees to the left and maybe the gaze to the right if that feels really integrated and sweet to you. If not, you can keep the gaze up towards the ceiling or even look out over towards the left. Allow your breath to come and go. Anchoring in a state of rest as things shift and change within and all around you. And then on your next inhale, arc your right hand up overhead towards the top of the mat, hand close to the floor. Just pause there as you exhale, soften, belly towards the spine, rest in a breathless place. Allow a deep breath in as you stretch the hand and the knee away from each other. And as you exhale, continue the arc until the right hand swings around to meet the left hand once again. Gather your knees together and just round, curl into a little ball. Anchor in a place of abiding as the breath comes and goes. Now on your next inhale, stretch the right leg back behind you. Reach the right hand towards the back of the mat, away from the right knee. Pause and allow the breath to come and go. Developing a relationship with rest and that which is always at rest, right here in the middle of things. Allow a deep inhale to stretch and to reach you, and as you exhale, continue the right hand along the arc until you're back into the twist, where you can land and settle. Simply let it all settle, and let it all be. On your inhale, take the knees and the gaze all the way back through towards the ceiling. And just take a moment here to be beyond the doing, to rest right here in the middle of things, tethered to a sense of abiding that is always and already just here. Gather up your knees and hug your knees into your chest. Make yourself a little squeeze. Maybe even curl the head up towards the knees. And release the legs. Relax yourself out long for Shavasana. It's a pose where we allow ourselves the opportunity to rest completely. Allowing the momentum of the body and the mind and even the breath to slow down so that we can experience an even deeper sense of abiding. As you allow your body to soften into stillness, relax into a greater state of surrender Allow the earth that holds us all to hold you too. Here we all take refuge together and rest. Is the peace that you seek ever really not here? Notice the place of abiding from which the breath comes and goes. The place of abiding from which movement comes and goes. And anchored in that restful space of abiding, begin to bring a little bit of movement back to your body. Moving and stretching out in a way that feels really integrated, resonant with you. When we anchor in this place of abiding, we're free to move in the way that is just right for us in a moment. Take your time, but eventually you'll make your way onto your side. And then up to a seat for meditation. And perhaps for meditation, you'd like to grab a pillow or a cushion or just something to sit up on. But as you allow yourself to settle into a seat, make sure that the hips are high enough. You could even sit on a chair. But the hips are high enough. The spine can be upright without any effort. Allow your eyes to close. I'll invite you to a mudra. So you just allow your thumbs to rest in the palms of your hands, and very lightly you curl your other fingers over your thumbs. So it's like a super loose fist. And allow your palms to rest on your thighs. A mudra of steady ground, of abiding, Adi Mudra. Allow yourself to settle into a place of steadiness. For a moment, just feel the experience of the breath rising and falling from the center of you, weaving into existence from that breathless place, and returning back to that space of rest. Acknowledging space of breathlessness beyond the inhales and exhales. Allow yourself to discover the source of the breath. The source of peace. The source of it all. Now anchored here in a place of rest, open yourself up to experience the world of sound without having to name or like or dislike any of the sounds that you hear. Simply open yourself up to experience the world of sound, from the most subtle sounds to the most obvious sounds. Simply allow yourself open to the curiosity, to the mystery. From where do these sounds come? To where do these sounds return? Tethered in a place of abiding, experiencing the world of sound, open to the mystery of their source. Simply allow your awareness to shift back to the breath once again, softly rising and falling from the center of you. Each and every exhale leading you back to the source of the breath, to the place of abiding, at rest beneath the flow of the breath. Anchored here in that which is at rest, right here in the middle of things. Open yourself up to experience the world of sensation. Again, without having to name it, to like or dislike the sensations that you encounter, from an anchored space of pure presence. Allow yourself to experience the world of sensation. Allow yourself as well open sense of curiosity to the mystery of the source of sensation. From where do all these sensations come? To where do all these sensations return? Begin the experience of that mystery, of that curiosity. See what it's like to rest anchored beyond the thought of answers. Now, once again, shift back to the breath for just a few rounds, acknowledging its coming, its going, and its source. That which is that rest right here as the breath comes and goes. Anchored in that state of rest. Now allow yourself to simply open up to the experience of yourself, of your own existence. Before you even have a thought about it, experience the world of yourself, your own existence. Without having to name or judge any of its aspects. Allow yourself to just be. And opening with curiosity. From where do you come? To where do you return? Notice what it's like to open to the mystery and the curiosity of yourself and your source. To rest, open, in a place of waiting. Open in a place that answers without thought. Few more moments here of pure being, at rest, right here, in the middle of things. Experiencing that essence in the palms of your hands. Gather your hands like a prayer at the center of your heart. Anjali Mudra, the mudra of prayer, the mudra of offering, the mudra of blessing. This sense of abiding, pure being, your open, loving presence. Bless your own heart first. Know that this is the greatest blessing, greatest offering we could ever give to ourselves or anyone else that we meet. Lift your hearts and bow your heads, and may you know, may you remember how full you are with love. May you be and be well, body, mind, heart, and spirit. May you have the strength and the courage enough to stop and discover that which is always at rest right here in the middle of things. From there, may you always be guided along the pathway of peace. May you bring yourself in this world and all beings everywhere great blessings of truly unreasonable joy. Namaste. Thank you all so much for your practice and for your presence. I truly do love all of you, and I feel you so much, and can't wait to connect again soon. In the meantime, keep practicing and be well, and just know that I love you. Okay, bye for now.